Hey guys, welcome to another longer episode. This is another podcast. So if you want to check this out, it's straight onto Spotify. The link's down below, or any other streaming platforms. But yeah, welcome back. I am Peter,
I'm Laura.
and we are from Sailing Amari.
Sailing.
And so basically what's happening here is we have pretty much run out of content from last season. We basically, if you don't know, if you've only just kind of recently joined us, we kind of started filming back in June when we moved out onto the boat. We bought a brand new laptop just before we left, and 2 weeks into our journey, it died. So we didn't get any editing done, and that kind of pushed us back 3-4 months with content. So we released our first video in October from June. So we've had that kind of 4 month gap, which has been actually really nice during the winter, because it's meant we've released every single episode while we've been in the marina here, which is kind of crazy. But we're now kind of at the point where we're slowly running out with maybe 1 week left, and so we thought we have some other content that we did. A few weeks ago we went skiing, which was super fun, which we can talk about in a bit, I guess. And then also we just did a video today and yesterday. In fact, we're filming it right now for a day in the life, which is something different, definitely. But yeah, and basically
Peter had a lot of fun making that video.
Yeah, I'm super interested to see how it actually does turn out.
So am I. I'm expecting like some sort of advert for
commercials.
Yeah, like it was that level, like swiping 7 times because it was doing it the wrong. Anyway.
So yes, basically what's happening is Laura is going home for 1 month.
I'm so happy about it.
Tomorrow, yeah. So yeah, we just wanted to kind of film this just as extra content, and also just for another thing in the podcast. But yeah, why don't we talk about the skiing, which you'll have seen already, but we don't talk a super detail about it because we didn't film a ton of really that much. So
it'll be a short video.
Yeah, it'll be probably quite short, but it's just another filler until the season begins.
But we also wanted to document going skiing in Greece. Who knew?
This is true. Yeah, we would not have thought. Basically, how it all kind of happened was our friend Steffi from Sailing Benko. She goes to the gym here in the town. There's at least, she's one of us who goes to.
She's really immersed herself into the town.
But also she's
community.
The only person trying to keep in shape.
Yes.
Anyway, so she met a couple of people there. I think one of the trainers there said that, while you're here, why don't you go skiing or do something just different? And when we're like, where do you ski? What is that even a thing?
You can ski in Greece.
And it turns out a lot of people are ski instructors, and then it came like, where do you do it? And it's literally like an hour and 45 minutes from here, which is insane. So yeah, we like did that for 2 days, and it was, we skied for 1 day.
It was quite short.
Yeah, it was unfortunately.
We would have done it a lot longer, but
we had to.
We also hadn't been before, so we didn't
know what it would be like. But it was so much better than we thought it would have been. Snow was perfect. We met a bunch of instructors there, and they said that it was the best that it had been all season. So we were super lucky, but also it was my first time skiing properly, and not Laura's. So yeah, there's a couple of
or obviously Ruben,
yeah,
and Steffi didn't ski, but
so it was good fun. I thought it was good. It was very interesting.
I'm just so grateful that you now like it. It's taken me our whole relationship to get you to agree to go skiing.
Yeah,
because
it's so
always
expensive.
like, no, I'm not going.
But it's because it's so expensive, and
but you could always go somewhere that was more affordable. Yeah. You didn't have to go to the big resorts.
Yeah, well, I mean, here the biggest selling point for here was the price. I mean, we paid €12 for the day pass and €10 a day for skis, boots, everything. So
yeah, something like that.
It was kind of crazy, the price of it. So yeah, if you're ever in Greece in winter, highly recommend doing that, because it was just, and I think their season's kind of like everywhere else. It's
yeah, and it was an okay resort if you weren't like
super
expert level because you would get bored pretty quickly. But
It's
if
not
it
even
was just
expert.
like a couple of days skiing,
If you're going for a
it-
week, maybe not. But there's two resorts. There's a really big one that we didn't go to,
Yeah.
and a small one that we did. And we're happy that we went to the small one. It's a bit closer and also a little bit cheaper.
yeah, and
And
it
it's
wasn't
perfect
like
for us.
I've been skiing quite a number of times, and Ruben also and Steffi also said the same thing. Like the resorts that you go to in France, Italy, Switzerland,
Germany, yeah.
wherever,
Alps.
you queue for a very long time to get on the slopes,
On the ski
like
lift.
on the ski lift, and then up to the slopes. The slopes are rammed with people. Like you're always avoiding 10 little children following behind a skiing instructor.
Mm.
There was none of that. There was some children, but like it wasn't
Yeah,
chaos.
I mean,
It wasn't. It was a nice amount of people that were there.
I mean, I only did probably 6 runs or something, and I think the
Even
5 runs, and I think the longest. No, it was more than 3. It was. I think the longest that I waited in the queue for the ski lift was like
10
a minute
minutes?
or 2 minutes for me. It was 10 minutes.
10 minutes
you.
for us at one point.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely recommend that. And it,
Mhm.
honestly, I mean, maybe we'll cover this in a bit, but I think it was interesting just kind of doing that because it's another selling point for being in this area. Definitely over winter,
Yeah.
definitely. But yeah, so that was
a long-winded conversation about skiing.
it was. Sorry, we're not skiing, Amari, but yeah, super interesting, and I think it was. I think it's the biggest surprise from winter here.
It was a nice change.
Definitely. But yes, basically we want to kind of just do a couple of questions. So I reached out to our patrons to see if there's any questions. And we did get a few short ones, so we just wanted to put them into this and see what happens. Although I don't know how much depth we'll go into these because some of these will be...
Oh,
what was that?
oh, the GoPro.
Yeah, because some of these things will be actual... Oh, that's recording. Some of these things will be individual videos throughout this year. Is stuff that I actually want to make in a lot more detail. So you'll see.
I have no idea.
Yeah, you haven't seen the questions yet.
And there's nothing we've answered in the last Q&A.
No.
Definitely.
Yes. So first off, the question was about work, and I guess it's not necessarily just, well, he's asked just about work, but I think we can add it just about money in general. Yeah, and how we've done over the winter. Like, have we been working? What have we really been doing over the last few months? 4 months, nearly 5 months. It's crazy.
Just here in this marina. Yeah, I know. What, you want me to answer that one?
Uh-huh.
Oh, right, sorry. I thought you were going to lead that one there. Well, that's the reason I've been going back to Ireland for the number of weeks. I'm a nurse, so I go back, pick up some shifts over there, and then come back here for Christmas in a few weeks, and then back again, and then back and forth.
Yeah, and
It's pretty simple that way. I'm very fortunate that that's an option. It was easy to get shifts at the minute. It's not as easy, but
yeah. But yeah, so
it's
that's
pretty good that way.
That's basically what Laura's been doing, and she's been back for 2 months over the last 4, and she's going again tomorrow for another month. And that's pretty much the only source of income that we have for this at the moment, other than like the little bit that we do get from making these videos, which is awesome. But it's obviously not going to pay for very much just yet. But that's kind of it. And yeah, it's basically, if you don't know, we did a podcast, I guess, a
Just
year and
the
a half
first
ago, the
podcast?
very first podcast, and we did talk about that in a little bit more detail, I think, if I can remember right. But in that, we said about basically how we did this was we sold our house.
Sold everything.
We sold everything, but we had bought a house when we got married. We renovated it, and
We made a decent
we
amount
made
of
it-
money
we made-
on it,
I mean, not like crazy, but it was enough.
but enough
to
to
buy the-
fund.
It was enough to buy the boat, and then we spent and then a year just saving up. So we're just living off savings, and then Laura going back to work. Obviously, that has to run out at some point. But yeah, hopefully we can figure out something else for money while we're out here, because it would be super nice to be able to do this and not have to go back because of work.
Mhm.
So
We're both also not against working. It's just we
Yeah,
wanted
yeah.
this year to.
it's not
This
even that.
past year, we just wanted to enjoy the first year on the boat, first
Yeah.
season on the boat that we were on, not having to.
I don't even think it was
Or-
that. It's like what we're just at this point it's trying to figure out what we
what we
can
want to
do
do,
and
yeah.
not even what we want, what we physically can do.
Mm.
We have different experiences in what we've done.
I obviously can't nurse.
No, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of time now goes into making all this content, which is, I really do enjoy that. I think it's a lot of fun, and I do the editing. So
Well, it was a job we did before as well. Like we
Yeah.
did weddings, so it was
so
something we enjoy creating. More
Yeah,
so
so-
Peter than me.
unfortunately, here in terms of getting a job here, I think that's also been asked. Like, did we do any work in Greece? Unfortunately,
Mm.
here's just we're not in a tourist place at all, and obviously over winter nowhere really is, so people don't really care for English speaking people
Mm.
at all. So yeah, that's the first question. And just in general, like, what have you been doing in the off season for Greece, and have you taken the boat out at all?
No.
No.
The boat has not moved here since like the 6th of October or something, for other than from that anchorage into the
Yeah,
marina.
we've been in the town now since the beginning of October, and we stayed out in the
No.
anchor for almost a month, I guess.
Yeah.
But
The weather, to be honest, until maybe 2 weeks ago, not even,
mm,
wouldn't have been weather you'd really want to go out in, other than maybe the
Yeah.
odd day. And it's a lot of money for us to take the boat out of the marina just
but
for
just
one day.
because of cruising taxes and stuff, it's not a
Um,
lot of money, but
no,
it's
but
not
for
worth
one
it.
day,
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
So
Um,
basically, with the weather, we did in November we had. Well, Laura wasn't here, so she didn't care. I have never seen as much rain in my life, and
and we're from Ireland.
everyone in the marina said the same thing. It's just there was people like thinking about just leaving and going, like, I don't know, towards Africa, like Tunisia or something, because it was so bad. Every other day it was storms. It was 30, 40 knots for about 4 weeks solid. It did not stop raining. The whole city was flooded. Bridges collapsed. There was no fresh water because all the pipes had just exploded. Like, it was horrible.
It was.
It was the worst month of potentially
And then I brought
my
the
life.
sun with me.
Yeah. So
As soon as I came back, it was lovely.
so
for
Christmas was nice again, and then January was cold. It hit so Laura went back home again in January for 2 to 3 weeks, and it was -5 during the night, and it didn't really get much above 0, which is just insane. And that's not what we anticipated in a Greek or just a Mediterranean winter, not at all.
Well, you didn't expect.
not -5.
No.
We kind of thought 5 degrees.
Yeah.
Maybe. So, yeah, that was.
So we know we haven't left
We
because
haven't
of
done anything.
it
Really.
wouldn't be enjoyable.
Now, because the weather's good, we can do some good walks and stuff. But even at that, we don't have a car to go to any big hikes or anything like that. So, it's just been from really in the town, other than that one skiing trip.
Yeah, well, maybe go out a couple of days before we leave here.
Yeah.
Somewhere, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
We will see. And let's see the final question. Well, it's more about the buying process, which we also cover in the first podcast. But basically, I suppose we can quickly tell that again if you're just new. Basically, hold on until I double check this. So basically, just to really quickly run down, we came to Croatia to get a boat. We went to Croatia basically because that's where we saw on like Yacht World or whatever you call it now. That's where most of the boats were that were in our budget, and we didn't have a lot of money to spend. Basically, what happened was we came maybe 4 times looking at different boats over the course of 6 to 9 months, just to see different models. Well, 6 months, and to see different models, to see different layouts, what we liked. And at this point, we had never stepped foot on a boat before. We had no experience at all, so we didn't know. We didn't know, like, other than just looking at reviews and what people had said about each boat, we didn't have any experience and know what we were looking for. Which meant that all we did literally was we went off how the boat felt in terms of space, usability, storage, location, just
comfort,
comfort.
home,
yeah,
kind of like feeling.
nothing to do with sailing performance. And it would be super interesting now to see actually what difference it would be buying a boat. But at this time, we had no experience. And basically what happened was we tried so many different boats, so many different brokers. We tried everywhere. The brokers were just so difficult to work with, other than one. which I can't. Back yachting in Split
Back. BACH.
was amazing. They were really good, but everyone else was just difficult. They didn't. They obviously saw that we were young and thought, yeah, we're clearly not going to buy a boat. So
Yeah.
nobody took us seriously. Nobody really wanted to do much. And they just didn't care. So, yeah, I think it was Adam at Back Yachting we worked with for a couple. He took us around all over the
Yeah.
country at boats, and we really wanted to buy from him. But unfortunately, just he didn't have the boats that we were looking for.
But we did buy privately, and he did help us,
Yes.
even though
So,
he benefited in no way from it.
yeah, I mean,
but
you're
obviously
you're
with-
spoiling
Oh,
the privately
sorry.
part.
Oh, sorry. You're rambling.
I'm explaining the background. Anyway, we got to Croatia for the last time, and we messaged someone that we had kind of spoke to online on Facebook, who just bought a boat, and we went to see him because it was quite close by, and just chatting to him, see what boat he bought, and just seeing what was happening, and that was it. We went home, and then kind of 3 days later, he told us there was another boat that we could have looked at, and he looked at it for us, and it was this. So we were at home. We never even saw the boat, and yeah.
But
that was
he
interesting.
also knew what he was looking for, so it was actually
Yeah.
better that we weren't there to
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at it, and he looked at it for us.
I mean, he had a heck of a lot more
Um,
experience.
Mhm.
I mean, he wasn't a world sailor, but he knew
No,
more.
but he
to
knew
look at
he
than
knew
us.
to look at the seacocks. He knew to look at
Sure, yeah. So it
other
was
things.
definitely a different experience, and that's kind of how we got this, and we got it at a really good price because
Mhm.
it was off market effectively. Like it didn't. I don't think it actually got to a broker.
No,
Basically, it was an ex-charter boat. The charter company had just decided,
it's
okay,
gone bust.
yeah, they were selling up all their fleet and or virtually all of their fleet, and this was the last kind of thing to go, and they didn't have it on the market. Maybe they weren't going to sell it. I think it was so late in the season they just decided they weren't going to sell it. Not late in the season, late in the off season, because this was February,
Yes.
and we were told that they normally book the boats in February
For
for the
charter.
year. So yeah, that's kind of how we got this, and it's been amazing. We definitely could not have got this boat.
We got a very good deal on this.
Couldn't
boat.
have got this boat any other way other than luck, and that's
Like
it.
to the point where we thought there has to be something
Yeah,
wrong.
Yeah.
Like with this boat, like it was too good to be true.
yeah,
The process, like at first we were defeated because the process wasn't easy,
Mm.
but then once we came to this boat, the process itself, the guy that we
bought from.
bought from
Yeah.
was very accommodating.
Yeah, it was.
Like we really did question,
There must have been
like
something
this
wrong.
boat's going to sink the moment we get given the keys. He's just put like a bung in the in a hole that we can't find.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
Um,
kind of how we got the boat. Obviously, then
very
COVID
good.
happened, and then we didn't actually get to see it. But that's
That was why it was too good to be true.
yeah.
COVID.
But then now we're in a position where the boat is worth obviously a lot more than what we paid for it for that
Mhm.
reason. I mean, it was already a good price, but COVID has caused boat prices to just go so
Skyrocket.
high, which we've only really realised in these last few weeks. So we've gotten super lucky. We're so thankful that we got this because if we were going into the same market with the same money today, I have no idea what we'd end up with. Because the boats have honestly gone.
We
about
wouldn't be
50%
doing what we're
expen-
doing.
No,
We wouldn't be
couldn't
doing
do
it. We would need another couple of years of savings before we were to
So
do it.
yeah, that's pretty much.
If we wanted to get a boat similar to this,
Yeah, there's no way. Absolutely.
which
And-
we would need because of the dogs.
Yeah. Or something bigger, which is the problem.
Mhm.
But yeah. But yeah, he said about sailing back home to the UK as well. I don't think so.
Doesn't interest us at all.
No, we're not really intrigued by it. I
Like
mean,
a
who
lot of
knows?
people say, "Oh, you need to sail the Irish Sea. You need to experience it." I have no desire to sail somewhere cold.
I mean, who knows?
I'm here for the sun.
If we're here for, I don't know.
Well, I might get bored of the sun, but
10
at this
years or
moment in
whatever,
time, I
yeah.
have absolutely no desire to go. I'm sure it can be beautiful, but we have lived up there for so many years. We want to see the places that you can't get to.
No.
We can easily get to Ireland. We can get to Scotland. We can get to wherever.
It would be interesting.
It would
It'd
be.
be very interesting, but
But I have
not
no
for a
interest
permanent
at all,
thing.
no.
It would have to be like, okay, let's go
A
do it for a
trip
few
for a
weeks,
day,
and
yeah.
then. But it's
I
so
love how you say a few weeks and I say a day.
So
Very
yes,
different
that's
expectations.
that's our kind of experience with the boat buying. It's just lucky, and that's as much as we can
Yeah.
say. We can't we
And
kind
it
of
didn't come with out its challenges. Like
oh no,
we
I mean,
were defeated so many times.
but mainly because being a charter boat, it was
it was very well looked after.
it was
for
well looked
starters.
after, but just because of obviously they were constantly servicing stuff and everything like that.
Mhm.
But beyond that, it was completely standard. There's no
Yeah.
options on this boat at all, which is a thing that's where the money comes in. Because as you start to add these options, that's when obviously you start to add up that
But
price.
yeah, well, like what we paid for the boat, we still put a lot of money into her.
Yeah, I mean we
We still are continuing to put a lot of
Yeah,
money
and
upgrades in,
that's
which
gonna
is
keep
just
happening,
life
yeah.
of living on a boat. So, but if we didn't get Amari for the price that we got her for, we probably couldn't have done as much upgrades as what we are grateful we were able to do.
So yeah,
To make it as livable as possible. Like that's our point. Like we
Yeah,
don't just
it's
want to
just a
live on a
home.
boat
yeah,
and we want to be minimal, but we don't want to make life
uncomfortable.
uncomfortable and more difficult if we don't have to.
So yeah, again, if it was today, there's no chance. But we just got in at
No,
the right time.
But
And
I
that's
also
it.
wouldn't change. Like if we could afford this in today's prices, I would still pick this boat, unless we were going catamaran.
Yeah.
Or trimaran. Peter's
Woohoo.
dream.
Why is
I don't know why we're going on to this topic now. We're just ranting now. We need to end it.
Yeah, we
Goodbye.
do. Well, thank you anyway. Thank you so much for watching. Whatever's kind of happened in this,
Yeah, if you
And
made it this far,
we will.
you're dedicated. Thank you.
Yeah. Again,
I wanted to sing the song, but I'm not
you're gonna sing a
No,
song.
I wanted to sing dedicated, but
I don't know what that is. Why don't you sing it for me?
No. No.
Let me sing it.
Nope.
Laura's a great singer.
Nope. You can sing it for me.
I have no idea what that
No,
is.
the people, if they figured
Dedicated?
it out what it is, took the time.
Took the time.
Oh,
I
never
honestly-
mind. Doesn't
Honestly,
matter.
don't know.
Doesn't
I'm
matter.
obviously too old. Oh wait.
Since you've been gone.
Since you've been gone.
No.
That's a different song.
Why is the Cooper still there?
Okay, right, we're done. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to get access to all of these videos early, especially these kind of special videos like the Q&As, the day in the life stuff. It's all on Patreon and it's on there much earlier. And also, say bye to Laura because she's going to be gone for a whole month.
The worst part about it's the cold.
Yeah.
We're used to leaving each other now.
Party!
Release in my weeks.
But yeah, thank you, and we will catch you guys in the next week. Which, when Laura gets back, we have 1 week until we leave the marina,
Which
is terrifying.
is intense.
So yeah,
we
we've
have
got
a lot to do.
we have hopefully in the next kind of 6 to 8 weeks we will be on YouTube. We'll have the new season started. So cannot wait. Super excited to see what happens.
Stressed, but super excited.
And also today was a big day. We got our. We hit the monetization on
Right,
YouTube
yeah.
because we're now going to be millionaires. Thank you so much for thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for commenting,
We could
liking.
maybe buy a Freddo.
A Freddo chocolate bar if you're not from the UK.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.